In the shadows of medieval Europe, beyond the grand castles and bustling marketplaces, lurked a darker underworld, a world of thieves, mercenaries, and outlaws, hidden societies that thrived in the chaos of the Middle Ages. Today, we uncover the untold stories of the gangs that ruled medieval Europe. In medieval London, crime was a way of life for many. The Canting Crew was a notorious gang of beggars and thieves who operated under an intricate system of deception, led by upright men. These criminals used secret slang known as cant to communicate. They tricked, robbed, and sometimes even murdered unwitting travelers. With little law enforcement, these gangs thrived. The punishment for theft, public flogging, or even hanging. But for the Canting Crew, the rewards often outweighed the risks. Ireland was no stranger to rebellion, and the Whiteboys were one of the most feared secret societies of the 18th century. Though not purely medieval, their roots lay deep in the turmoil of earlier centuries. Wearing white smocks, they launched nighttime raids to protest unfair land practices. Their targets? Wealthy landlords and tax collectors. Their enemies called them criminals. The poor saw them as heroes. But the English crown? They saw them as a threat that had to be crushed. When wars ended, not all soldiers went home. Some became free companies, mercenary groups that terrorized the countryside, demanding food, money, and supplies. Led by ruthless commanders, these bands of warriors were a medieval nightmare. Without wars to fight, they became warlords in their own right. Kings feared them, nobles paid them off, and peasants suffered under their brutal rule. Germany's Zwinger gangs were a brotherhood of criminals that operated like an underground empire. From bribery to robbery, their influence spread across towns and cities. They even had their own form of justice, swift and merciless. Betray them, and you would disappear forever. Their power became so vast that the Holy Roman Empire declared all-out war on them. But as long as there were riches to steal, the Zwingers were never truly defeated. On the waters of medieval Europe, pirates ruled as much as kings did on land. Flemish pirates, known as watergeuzen or sea beggars, raided coastal villages and disrupted trade routes. Even mighty kingdoms struggled to stop them. They were outcasts, rebels, and warriors of fortune. For them, the ocean was lawless and full of opportunities. These gangs weren't just criminals, they were products of their time. A time when law was weak, justice was brutal, and power belonged to those bold enough to take it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history's forgotten criminals, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. More untold stories await. Until next time, stay curious.